Welcome to the Modern Professional Polishers Academy, where we answer daily questions, give you tips and tricks, and motivation to help you navigate the world of paint correction. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pro Polishers Academy, where we help paint correctors like you turn your systems into consistency by moving you through the learning curves faster, utilizing formulas that work without fail. I'm Smitty, and I'll be your lead instructor. Let's get into it. In today's inner game call, we discuss how confidence in your paint correction skill set affects your confidence when you're selling your services to your potential customers. Check out the call. Morning. Hope everybody's doing well today. We are getting ready to get started on this call. Excited about this one. We're going to keep it short and sweet. Got to get out of here by 10:30. That's the goal for all of these calls, to tell you the truth, because we got to do some video editing and then get them loaded up everywhere. So, let's see. All right, so the topic is you can only become confident in selling what you're confident in producing. So I was talking with Soto, who's one of our newest members in the academy from Kansas City, so shout out to him. And we were going over his game plan for a split second, and he said that he wants to improve in paint correction to get more confident in offering it and selling it. So it sparked the thought that, you know, you can't even speak confidently about something that you're not confident in producing. So, you know, let alone be confident in selling it. So if you can't even talk about it, of course you won't be able to sell it. I once had a detailer in New York contact me about having trouble selling correction and coating for $500, and specifically to a gentleman he had just got off the phone with. And usually when I use this example, I'm speaking on the importance of knowing the verbiage and the vocabulary of the industry so you can explain this service with clarity. But today I'm referencing it to highlight the fact that I know that that gentleman in New York wasn't proficient with his craft, because if he were, he wouldn't have had any issues closing a deal on a $500 service. Like, this is entry level, price tags when we're talking about paint correction, coating, anything having to do with some type of paint protection. This day and age, $500 is almost your entry level price tag. So he would have had no issue closing a deal at $5,000 on a $5,000 service, because his confidence in his production would have created in him the confidence to offer the service and close the deal on it in the end. So no matter the price, as long as your confidence is matching, your confidence in your skill set is matching with your pricing, you won't have an issue throwing out those prices. So today we're going to go over what you need to be proficient in regards to your technical skill set that'll allow you to become a beast in your sales, and we'll cover the consequences when you leave those variables incomplete. So number one, tool knowledge. Most clients only know about a rotary. So when you understand the different types of tools that are available for paint correction, number one, you add to your own knowledge. And then number two, you can inform the client and reassure them that they have made the right decision coming to you. And if they're on the fence and they're looking at a few different shops, your fluency in the profession will make them choose you overall. So, just understanding those machines and letting them know that there's something out there outside of the gift that they got for Christmas that looks like a giant steering wheel, that two-handed DA buffer from Walmart. Like, a lot of people only know about that, or a rotary that might be laying around in somebody's garage. So when you can educate and inform them of the different tools, even if you don't have all of the tools, you can just explain what paint correction is typically all about. It'll make them go with you. So a well-informed client is a high-paying client, and they'll go with you, man. I'm telling you, they'll choose you unless there's something about you that they don't like, whatever. So, sometimes it has nothing to do with you. It's all in their mind. Unless it's something that they don't like about you, if they're a customer that's going after, skill, if they're going after skill, they're jotting down in their memory all the information that you're kicking out, as opposed to the guys who they've already talked to or the ones that they're about to go talk to. And plenty of times we've had guys come in who are, pricing around, trying to see what's going on, and they don't even go to any other shops. We might have been the first spot. They don't go to any other location because we've given them information that they want to hear, and they know it'll be a waste of time to go and see if they can get that same info from the next shop. So Number two is product knowledge. So no more than chemical guys. If you start studying all of the popular brands of products that are available on the market. I'm not big on wasting money on products. If you know of a system that works, like if you're in the academy, we got a system for you already. But when you're first starting out, you need to know what a good product looks like and what a bad product looks like. So, test out those different products, and that's going to help you when you're explaining to your customer the difference between X and Y, because your customers also know about chemical guy. So if you're a chemical guy detailer, typically you're just getting into the game. You're an enthusiast turned hobbyist, and now you're trying to make your way into the professional game. You need to get all the way in there so that you and your potential clients, aren't on the same playing field, so that you don't lose the sale when you're talking to them, because if you guys are using all the same products and tools, they might think they can go get it done on their own. So definitely understand those products. Defect identification. Becoming a top tier paint investigator will increase your earnings by a long shot. You need to be able to identify the most common paint defects as soon as possible, and you need to know if there are any defects that are specific for your territory or in your territory. For example, just talking to this gentleman, I posted about it in the Discord yesterday. Talked with a guy out in Texas, and he said that he's around a few plants, and these stacks have fallout, all over the place, getting all over the vehicles, and he's getting paid $1,500 a vehicle, and he's knocking them out in like 45 minutes, right? So, but you need to know if there's something specific to your area, because if you can identify these defects, it'll help you better understand what's required to remove those defects. And then people trust you when you expose what they've been trying to figure out, and when you can see things in the paint that they never saw before. They brought the vehicle to you, and it'll give you leverage when you're offering them those packages. So, and side note, there's an advantage to simply knowing how to identify the defects, even if you don't know how to remove them. If you're honest with the customer or potential customer about not being able to get the defects out, but you can still tell them about what's going on with that vehicle and refer them to someone who can actually fix it, or let them know that you give them a call once you've solved the problem through your own testing. You can still get great reviews from these customers because you've helped them solve a problem and you've given them a reference. So that a lot of times, we've gotten 5-star reviews just because of the information that we're giving out. Didn't have to put 10% of any physical effort into any vehicle to get that review. It's just about the information. Or they may actually still bring the vehicle to you now to solve the majority of the problem, and then wait for you to follow up with them to solve those minor issues that you might not be able to correct right away. I've seen this happen time and time again. Before I started wet sanding, some vehicles will have, say, tons of fingernail scratches around the door handles, or it might just be on the driver door, and I'd let them know that I couldn't get those defects out just yet, and that I was going to be doing some wet sanding training over the winter time, and they would still bring the vehicle right away because that one door wasn't going to make or break the deal. They just wanted to know that those defects, they want to know what the defects were from, and if they could be reversed. So, it's crazy. Some people don't realize their fingernails are scratching up the door, and then even when they're thinking it out, like when it's front of mind, like where are these defects coming from? They still don't understand. They don't believe that their fingernails could do such damage, right? So just being able to point them out, man, it's major. Understanding time management. When you get to the place where you're able to time those projects perfectly, it gives you more confidence when you're selling the service because you know what it takes to get the vehicle right. So in the beginning, of course, it's going to take you a little more time to complete that project, and that can affect your confidence because you know that somebody else with more skill than you could have completed that job faster. So you cannot actually charge that customer for your learning time. So for an example, I had a 2019 Porsche Boxster GTS come in a few years ago, and I thought it was going to be a quick polish. Very, very minimal swirls, still learning about the different paint hardnesses, etc. And, I tried to hit it with a yellow Rupes pad and a polish. It wouldn't pull those very few swirls out. So I ended up having to compound this thing. And then once I started compounding it, the defects came out. But when it was time to polish it, man, that was the hardest paint for me to polish. So, it was black, gave me all kind of issues with that finishing stage. So it took me 50 hours to perfect it. Did I have to go that deep? I didn't have to go that deep, but I wanted to make sure that that car was perfect. I knew I couldn't charge them for the 50 hours that it took to fix the car because I was learning as I was going. But now that same car I can do in 8 to 10 hours because I know exactly what it's going to do if I use this specific pad or that specific product. And I can stand firm on my pricing knowing that I'm getting exactly what I deserve for the work that I've produced. So, just understanding that time management, it is imperative to your confidence when you're trying to sell these products, sell these packages, because you're going to have people coming in trying to talk down the service, or it don't take all that, or it don't take. You really won't have much to say back to them if they say it don't take all that when you're still trying to figure out how long does it actually take. So hurry up and get proficient with the time management, because then you can have a rebuttal when you're dealing with these clients who think they know it all. So they need to know, no, this is actually what you saw on Instagram. It's actually going to take me 2 to 3 days to produce that. What you saw it in a split second, and you were just simply scrolling. If they did it right, it took them 2 or 3 days to produce that. Your average customer has never had paint correction done. Almost every person that we end up doing a vehicle for, at least in this area, it's going to be their first time having it done. Maybe they've had ceramic coating done before, because literally anybody can do that. Anybody can apply ceramic. When I had my BMW contract, BMW would have the window tinter applying whatever ceramic coating, quote unquote ceramic coating, that they offered. And it looked like a little baby wipe, little moist towelette, and he'd take a break from window tint, and then he'd start wiping this stuff on, and he'd be done in 10 minutes. So anybody could have had ceramic done. But as far as paint correction goes, it's still very, very new. The market is wide open, and you got to be able to explain to these folks what really goes into these types of projects. It's very important, especially if you want to make the money that you want to make and enjoy it, man. Disadvantages, consequences for not becoming confident and proficient in what you're doing with this paint correction. If you stay on the same level that you're on in paint correction, in your skill sets, you'll never raise your price because you haven't implemented anything new that warrants an increase. So in your own mind, you won't even think that you're worthy of raising that price tag. If you want to hear the rest of that call, join us in the Pro Polishers Academy. The link is in the description below. It's only $99 a month, and you get access to our calls on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And if you missed the call, you can get into the call archive and listen back whenever you get a chance to. You also get access to our 24/7 Discord chat, where you can get in touch with myself or any other member in the academy around the country that can help you out with whatever your situation might be. You might be stuck on a car. You might be needing some help pricing out that vehicle. You might have a question about a simple product. Somebody will be there to answer you right away. And you also get access to my Guide to Gloss course. This is my life's work. It's got everything in it that we use to grow our business, all the pads, products, tools, pricing information, customer communication information, everything you need to run a successful business. We've got it in the Guide to Gloss. And also go download my free correction and coating product guide. The link is in the description as well. This has a few of our favorite products that we like to use on almost every vehicle in that guide, so go download that. And if you've been looking for any one-on-one training, if you've been looking for somebody to show you exactly how this is done, we also offer in-house training right here at the Pro Polishers Academy. We can show you exactly what you need to do, how to take a destroyed car and make it look amazing again. And the cool thing about our training is that we're going to be using something that's dark and has all kinds of defects, so that you can know exactly what to do when you get back home. We won't be using any brighter colored vehicles, silvers, whites. You're going to work on something dark so you can see exactly what's going on, and you'll be able to see how much gloss you can really produce with the products that we use. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button for more videos just like this. That's it for today, guys. We'll see you next time. The paint is waiting on you. Peace.